Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Sorry, I was just putting a couple of windows down because I've got about 30 windows open. The things that I want to tell you about, so many things to talk about. I only had one night off last night. Of course, I did a live yesterday morning. We're still talking about the Jay Slater case. Jay still hasn't been found yet, at least to the point of me starting this video. There was all hope, wasn't there, for the search yesterday that was supposed to be this great big search, and seems like it was quite disappointing. Anyway, it was disappointing. The turnout maybe was disappointing, but also it was disappointing because no trace of Jay was found. So, you know, where are we now? We're just sort of back to square one, if you like. Anyway, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about so many things. But first of all, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm in mainland Spain. It is 5 minutes past 12, midday. It is very hot, so hot. I've already got the air conditioning on at 12 o'clock. It's just unbearable. I took my little dogs out for a walk this morning and they were panting. It was only 9 o'clock in the morning. It was, you know, they didn't want to be out long. They couldn't wait to get back. It is just really, unless you get out at 6 in the morning, 6, 7, you know, before the sun sort of rises even a little bit, it's unbearable. So this is, of course, the conditions that they're facing on that mountain as well. So Tenerife, I'm in mainland Spain. Tenerife is part of Spain, but it's nearer Africa than Spain, really. And of course, up on that mountain, it's like a volcanic mountain. It's got its own little climate, really, and it's probably quite chilly in the mornings. Then as the day goes on, it gets hot, it'll be humid, and of course, it's all a question of negotiating slopes, either going up or going down, cactus, a canopy of different foliage, ravines, rubble. It's just really, personally, I just think it's horrible, you know, to go walking there. I don't understand why people want to do it, but people do for pleasure. So it's very popular with hikers. I just get this feeling that maybe Jay will eventually just be found by accident by somebody going into an area, not even looking for him, you know, going into some area people like to go into for some unknown reason. Do like to go into difficult areas, don't they? They like the challenge of it. And we're going to look at some of that amongst a million other things that we're going to look at. But anyway, first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone for watching my videos, watching my channel. You know, it has been sort of a bit Jay Slater obsessed, but I know that people want to know because I can tell by the amount of people, you know, that are watching at the moment. People are interested in what's going on with Jay, but I know there'll be people who are interested in the other cases that I look at as well that I've been following. So I need to get a bit back on track on that, maybe from tomorrow, because, you know, those cases are just important. We did have some good news in the UK, a young lad that's been missing for a while. Dylan, he was found safe and well. He's back home with his family now. So sometimes it does, you know, people are found sometimes. It's just they're not normally on a mountain when they get lost. If he is indeed there, of course. So thank you anyway to those of you that have watched. Thank you to everyone for caring about what's happened to Jay. Remember to be polite in your comments, be polite to each other, be respectful. Remember that whatever has happened, there's a family out there that are missing their son. So, yeah, and thank you to those of you who are members. So we'll be coming up to in the week time, of course, Tuesday. I just want to talk a little bit about memberships. I have 2 membership levels. There's Let's Chat. It's $1.99 a month, and we do a members live every Thursday. And then if you join the Carry On Chatting level, which is $4.99 a month, Also, of course, you can join in the Thursday live, but also we have a special live on a Tuesday. So Tuesday and Thursday evenings are the members only live streams, and membership is a way you can support my channel. If you like my content and you want my content and you want my channel to continue, that's the way you can help support it. But it's not obligatory, of course. Always remember that. Most important way you can help my channel is by watching my videos, by liking the videos, maybe sharing the videos, and subscribing. So please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Okay, let's take that banner off now. What did I want to say next? Where do I want? Oh, I'm going to say hello to the people that are here now. Now, remember, because there'll be probably quite a lot of people will join in this live. So I won't, maybe as time goes on, I won't be able to say hello to everyone, just to let you know that. But I'm going to say hello to the ones that are here now and that have said hello. And I will try to say hello to people as they come in, but I just may not be able to. Hi, Maria. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Shelley. Hi, David. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Katrine. Hi, Tina. Hi, Ocean. Hi, Silver. You're lurking. That's fine. No problem. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Mia. Hi, Mello. Hi, Julie. Hi, Gary. Hi, Caroline in Queensland. You're cold. Yeah, of course, it's cold in Australia. Hi, Junior. Hi, Tracy. Have I said hello to Tracy? Anyway, hi, Tracy. No, I don't think I've said hello to Tracy. Hi, Julie. Hi, Jane. Hi, Mystery. Okay, I've got to the bottom of the people that are in the chat now. I know there's a lot more of you at home. Hello to everyone at home. I know the chat's not for everyone, but thank you for watching. Okay, so where do we start? Honest to God, it's getting like that, isn't it? It's very, well, say it's getting like that because it's been nearly 2 weeks now, 14 days. Tomorrow will be, you know, in the early hours of tomorrow morning will be exactly a fortnight that Jay has been missing. So where do we start? Where do I start? I'm going to start with the GoFundMe because I like to keep you updated on the GoFundMe. A lot of people are interested in the GoFundMe, what's happening with it. And, you know, my opinion, GoFundMe should be banned. But having said that, if the GoFundMe is useful for them, if people have contributed, then, you know, that's up to them. That's their free will to do whatever they want with their money. If you've contributed and you're not happy, you should ask for a refund. And if you haven't contributed, really, in a sort of way, it's none of your business about the people who have contributed. So it's on 43,183 now. I don't know if they managed to take any money out. Debbie was trying to take money out. I think that caused a lot of consternation with people because they felt she was taking the money out to bring over too many people. And then, of course, all those people that have come over, it seems like there weren't many people turned up for the search yesterday. There's a lot of consternation about the search and a lot of people saying, oh, you know, if that was my child, I'd be out there searching, blah, 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 blah. And we're going to sort of look at that. And I was thinking about it today when I was taking my dogs for a walk today. And where I go, I mean, it's nothing like that, but it is quite rubbly. And but it's very open and it was hot. I think it was about 9 o'clock I was there, and it wasn't late, and it was already, the sun was beating down. And I just thought, you know, if that was my son who'd gone missing in Tenerife, in that particular area, much as I would want to go and help, I was thinking, you know, just physically I couldn't. You know, I would cause more problems because I would need looking after, going down all those bloody rubbly places and that. You know, I don't know the first thing about those sort of environments. So I don't know what I would do. I hope I never have to find out, to be honest. But, you know, sometimes your own physical limitations stop you from searching an area. You know, I'm not a young, fit person. It's like I do a lot of walking, but I never walk in areas like that. So I was thinking we're going to look to see what Jay's dad had to say about all that he wanted to leave it to the experts. Because, you know, no offense, but both Jay's mum and dad, they're not like, you know, mega fit, healthy people by the look, you know, by the looks of it. They're not like Paul Arnott, who's like, you know, that's what he does day in, day out. That's his thing that he does. And he's only in his 20s. So, you know, I'm thinking that if that happened to me, to my son, I wouldn't be able to go out and help search. I would be there though, having said that, probably sat on the mountain. I would do the searching that I could along the bits that I could do, and I would go over them over and over again. I'm still in the opinion that he's probably there in this area. But I just feel like, you know, how many times you could search same place and still not find anything because it's so vast and so difficult. And I just feel like eventually someone's just going to literally come across him accidentally, maybe, you know, maybe after the searching is all finished, etc. So let me put that down now that I've showed you the GoFundMe. I know you've all got your opinions about the GoFundMe, various different opinions, which is fair enough. Okay, so let's have a look what Jay's dad has been saying. Hi, Carla. Hi, Heather. Let's have a look what Jay's dad has had to say recently. So Jay's dad, Warren, this is, what newspaper is this? Because this is covered everywhere. I mean, you can find something about this on every publication, every news outlet. Everyone's talking about it. There's not many YouTubers talking about it, I don't think, but not in a sensible way anyway. But yeah. Anyway, missing Jay Slater's dad issues a tough update from Tenerife with a message for trolls. So this was on the 12th day. So this was just a couple of days ago. In the face of his son's disappearance and unpleasant online trolls, the father of missing British teenager Jay Slater has provided an update on the search operation in Tenerife. The search, now in its 12th day, saw a macro search conducted by the island's police force on Saturday. I don't think it's the 12th day today. I think it's the 14th day today. But anyway, aiming to unearth new clues regarding Jay's location. The 19-year-old from Oswaldtwistle, Lancashire native, was last heard from 2 weeks ago on a Monday morning when he informed. Oh, so I have been trying to put a timeline together, and I'm going to read what I've come up with so far, but I am going to do a proper timeline. But there's still so many things that say one thing on one publication, then someone says something else on another. So there is no real official timeline. And I think the confusing thing, especially for me, is the timeline between that last Snapchat of that cigarette that he gave, and then what was the phone calls between him and Brad, and then him and Lucy. What were the times of those? Because they seem to be a bit I've had a conflicting times of those. And even the Snapchat, just, I found conflicting times as to when that happened. So I am going to talk about timeline in a bit, and I am going to put one together, but it's not finalized. I hate timelines. They always seem to change, don't they? Look at the Nicola Bulley case. The timeline changed bloody daily in the end. Anyway, so he informed a friend who intended to embark on an estimated 11-hour walk back to his lodgings after missing a bus. His pal Lucy May, who was also on the island, accompanying him for the Energy Music Festival, revealed that Jed spent the night not at their accommodation, but with acquaintances they had met while holidaying. Now, in a minute, we're going to look at what Isla says about it all. Isla, the Good Morning Britain reporter who's been over to Tenerife, she's put an Instagram post out, and we're going to listen to what she had to say. And the thing is, the police have said that these two people are not involved in this case at all. Now, there'll be a reason why the police have said that. I don't know what it is. Everyone feels that these two men that Jay went off with are suspicious, but nobody's got any evidence that they were suspicious. Apparently, the general sort of accepted thing is that there were two guys that they'd all sort of been chatting and that around with in Los Americanos, even though these guys were staying right up in the mountains. And did Jay just go back for a drink with them? Did he go back for drugs? Did he go back for any other reason? What, he may have gone back for a personal reason. We don't know why Jay went back to those men's apartment. But at the end of the day, the police have cleared them, said they're nothing to do with it. They're literally on sat yesterday morning. The Guardia Civil guy who's in charge said they're irrelevant to the inquiry. So there's a reason why they think that. I still get this feeling that the police know a little bit more, but anyway. So attempting to navigate his way back on foot, he claimed to be lost, parched, and that his phone battery was dwindling. And then the phone call ended abruptly as his phone ran out of power. So that's what we know, isn't it? Or that's what we know. That's the sort of accepted explanation. Position was the Rural del Teno Park, a favourite amongst hiking enthusiasts. So Jay's father, Warren, aged 58. So he's 58 years old, his father. He's not a hiker. He's not a hiker. It's not something he does, on his weekends or whatever. So really, how can he go searching in that terrain? Anyway, he paid a visit to the search site this Saturday in the company of Jay's elder brother, Zach. And despite being estrangedly distant, he's not together with Debbie. He upholds genial terms. It's very oddly worded, this. I feel like it might be translated into English. With Debbie Duncan, 55, who is Jay's mother. So Jay's mum and dad are not together. Okay. Sharing his thoughts on today's search operation, he expressed himself saying, "It's a bit disappointing that there are no British here apart from British TikToker Paul." So that's Paul Arnott. But I suppose to them he's just a British lad who's come out here and got drunk. "I'm grateful to those who have come out here because you can see how dangerous it is. And what gets me is the trollers who are having a go at us for not searching. It's not the local park. These are big mountains. The terrain is dangerous. Put yourself in our position. Would you go out in these conditions? It's tough. It's hard. We're leaving it to the professionals. And I'm grateful for those who have turned out today. And I want to thank them for what they're doing." According to his words, Warren said, "We still can't believe it. It's been so tough on us, and I want people to think about us as parents and what we're going through. All those trollers having a go at us, they don't know how we feel. Why don't they come up here and have a look and see for themselves how dangerous it is? And yeah, I agree with that. You know, if you're complaining about them not going out searching, you go out and search then. I've come up here myself now because I wanted to take a look about with Zach and thank those who are up here and have given their time. I just didn't think this would go on for so long. I don't think any of us did. I mean, I really, when this first, I covered it from day one, from the very first day, and I honestly thought that Jay would just get found, like drunk, you know, or dehydrated, you know, not in a good way, but okay, stumbling around. I really thought he would get found. I dropped his mum and brother off at the airport and I thought they would be back in a few days. I just thought he'd gone out, had a drink and ended up at some girl's place, as we all did when we were younger. He's our youngest. I just want him home. His comments come amid the ongoing search for missing Jay Slater in the Spanish mountains, with the officer in charge, Cipriano Martin. I'm going to try and contact him in the week. He won't tell me anything, I'm sure, but you never know. You know, you could be surprised. The Guardia law to themselves. If he feels like replying, he will. And if he doesn't, he won't. You know, he'll do what he feels like doing. He won't, you know, so it's always worth a try, because if you don't ask, you don't get, do you? I'm going to see if he's willing to say anything. Because I do think there's an interpretation problem here. You know, there is a language problem, and it's not only the way that people talk. It's not even just about speaking Spanish. It's about understanding the way that Spanish people think, and especially the Guardia Civil. You know, Paul Arnott, the mountaineer, was getting his knickers in a twist, wasn't he, about spitting his dummy out, and he's not taking part, and they're doing too much talking and not enough action. And he may be right, but you know, that's the way they are. Getting angry with them won't make any difference. In fact, if anything, it'll just alienate them, and they'll be like, well, you know, who are you telling us what to do? You know, that is the Guardia Civil. You know, they do their own thing. They don't bow under pressure from the public or from other people at all. So there's a way of dealing with them. You know, you can get things out of them, and you can but as far as Paul's concerned, as much think as everything he's doing is brilliant, I don't see how he can communicate with the Guardia Civil at all if he doesn't speak Spanish. You know, so how does he even know what they're saying to him? Anyway, so he said those men have been spoken to. Oops. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Those men have been spoken to, and they don't have any relevance whatsoever in the case. That's what he said, apparently. Again, you know, I'd have to see the Spanish to make sure that's exactly what he said. Because, of course, what they said earlier was that everything was on the table, so I don't know. He also confirmed that Jay's family has been actively involved in the search efforts. All week they've been participating, because we've seen them and they've seen us in several places. They've been actively participating. Meanwhile, police are investigating allegations. Oh, this is the other thing, this Rolex watch. Are investigating allegations of a nightclub altercation involving a stolen Rolex watch shortly before Jay disappeared. And the incident reportedly occurred outside Papagayo Beach Club, where Jay was last seen enjoying himself, and it involved a man who alleged his Rolex was taken during a scuffle. Warren's comments come amid the ongoing search for missing Jay Slater. Oh, it keeps flicking up back up. Okay, so that's one article. So the police say these two men have got nothing to do with this case. You know, what you believe or don't believe is up to you, but that's what the police say, apparently. Let me just putting a couple of windows down. Okay, let's have a look now what Paul Arnott has been saying. So he really got quite angry yesterday on his Facebook. Going to play the things we haven't seen. Let's see. So he was stressed, wasn't he? So he started off. Oh, he's like got an absolute fixation for Isla, hasn't he? Because right, let's start with the turnout. Okay. So he wasn't impressed with the turnout, was it?
To the scene. So we've got loads of people down here, loads and loads and loads of cars. There's a few people up here. There's news reporters as well filming. And it's 1 minute to 9. So I'm guessing this is going to be the actual turnout. I think everyone's kind of coordinating, perhaps down here. And we're just going to wait for these guys. We're going to wait for Uber, wait for whoever's coordinating this to come about. But yeah, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. It seems like a really good turnout. I did think there would perhaps be a few more people today, guys.
He's saying they're a good turnout. Later on, he seemed to get annoyed with it all. But anyway.
We've got a few people up for tracks. Hey, all right. We've got Sky News, Uber News people. Absolutely everywhere, guys.
Yes, he wants Isla back because she was nice to him, wasn't she? She liked him and she reported on him and that. But maybe some of the other news people don't want to. You know, he probably gets a mixed reception because he knows a TikToker. You know what it's like, TikToker. Oh my God, you know, it's like a vampire or something. So maybe he just didn't get that good a reception then. Of course, because he doesn't speak Spanish, he can't chat properly to the Guardia, etc. So anyway, he was still quite sort of okay at this time.
Be interesting to see if the reporters are perhaps coming out and doing some searching themselves, or if they're just going to stand up here. But we'll find out, guys. We'll find.
I doubt very much of the reporters will do any searching, will they? I mean, they're not qualified either. I think the other thing to remember is the Guardia didn't just ask for anybody to turn up. They asked for anyone with experience. So, you know, how many people have got that experience? Like, people go there to hike on holiday and things like that, don't they? Probably hikers deliberately go there. But from the locals and that, there are probably not that many of the locals that actually do go hiking there. And I bet there's not many from Los Americanos and those sort of tourist places. I bet there's not many Brits who live in those areas go there.
I know. Hey guys, so I just want to show you the turnout really quickly. Everyone who's actually come to the scene. So we've got loads of people down here, loads and loads and loads of cars. There's a few people up here. There's news reporters as well filming. And it's 1 minute to 9. So I'm guessing this is going to be the actual turnout. I think everyone's kind of coordinating, perhaps down here.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is don't think that things in Spain start on the time. They say everyone get there for 9. They were probably still waiting for people to arrive by 10. Listen, Spain's not 9 o'clock in Spain. Any time in Spain, it's fluid. You don't expect people to. Punctuality is not something that happens in Spain either.
And we're just going to wait for these guys. We're going to wait for Uber, wait for whoever's coordinating this to.
Hi, Wesley, and somebody else came in that I missed. Eleanor. I feel like there's somebody else I've missed, but sorry if I missed you. Rio. Hi, Rio.
Come about, but yeah. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. It seems like a really good turnout. I did think there would perhaps be a few more people today, guys. We've got a few people up for tracks. Hey, all right. We've got Sky News, Uber News people. Absolutely everywhere, guys. Be interesting to see if the reporters are perhaps coming out and doing some searching themselves, or if they're just going to stand up here. But we'll find out, guys. We'll find out.
Okay, so he made that one. Then his next one was the press conference. There seems to be quite a few people there. I don't know, but anyway.
So
this is the police conference, guys.
Por los indicios que tenemos, no sé, las investigaciones las tenemos que hacer en base a los indicios que tenemos. Así que los indicios que tenemos son su posición. Esa posición lo he consultado con los servicios de nuestra Madrid. Dice que el GPS de un móvil es ese margen que hemos hablado de día de metro, kilómetros. El GPS de un móvil es súper. Y ese es el indicio que tenemos. No podemos estar haciendo locuraciones ahora a esta altura de otros casos que nos indican eso. Pues, a ver, ya lo vamos guardando por ahí.
So this is the police conference, guys.
Sorry, it's making me giggle a little bit. It's just that if you lived in Spain for as long as I have, because he had a moan later that they're just standing around talking, doing too much talking. Spanish love talking. They'll talk, and then there will be instant action. And once they get going with anything, it's normally, you know, pretty quick, efficient and all that. But you have to, the talking beforehand, you just have to go with it. It's really difficult to accept. I understand his frustration, I honestly do, because he's not familiar with it. But if you lived in Spain for a long time, you get to know it. You cannot rush it. You cannot rush anything. You know, you just can't. I can't explain it to you. Any of you who have lived in Spain and know anything about living in Spain, you'll understand. It's like, say you go in the bank. You've got one person on the counter maybe and a queue going out the door. And that person that's on the counter won't rush. And they will have a chat with every different person that they serve. Be a chat, there'll be no rush, there'll be no look at thinking, oh God, I've got all these people waiting. Don't matter if you've got an appointment somewhere else, or if you faint and keel over, you know, it won't make any difference. You cannot rush the way that they do things. And it's great when it comes to your turn, because when it comes to your turn, they'll deal with you thoroughly. They'll have a little chat with you. How's the family? Blah, 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 blah. How's work going? As if they haven't got 200 people behind them waiting behind you, waiting to be served. That's just how they are. There's no rush about anything. And you know, it's quite nice really, but it's just difficult to get used to.
Por los indicios que tenemos, no sé, las investigaciones las tenemos que hacer en base a los indicios que tenemos. Así que los indicios que tenemos son su posición. Esa posición lo he consultado con los servicios de nuestra Madrid. Dice que el GPS de un móvil es ese margen que hemos hablado de día de metro, kilómetros. El GPS de un móvil es súper.
Okay, so they're having a mega chat about the mobile and all that, and everyone's just standing around waiting for something to happen. Just looks like a typical day in Spain to me. Anyway, so here we go. Then he said this. He really got the hump.
Here, I'm pretty stressed out. I'm going to get some breakfast and then head back up here. However, I've just been on the phone to Isla, because Isla is the only person who's been out here and is talking any sense. Since I was out here searching for a week, and then Isla came out and she's just made everything make so much sense. She's made more progress than anybody with everything. So I've literally been begging Isla to come back out. She, you know, people are giving her grief on the internet. She is the most smartest, most intelligent woman out there. And people are only going for her for digs because people are jealous that she's actually the only person who is cracking this. It's so true. It's so true. And you know what? I want her to come back out because it's the only person I actually feel comfortable talking with, to be quite honest, guys.
Yes, he's getting a bit stressed there. Feels like he don't feel comfortable talking to anyone else, but maybe nobody else wants to talk to him. That's the problem. And he wants Isla back. He needs Isla back, and obviously he's got a little bit of a crush on Isla there. And I think Isla has done quite well. We're going to look at her Instagram post in a minute and see what she's got to say. Mark Williams' twonk has sort of more or less gone invisible, but we are going to have a look at his Instagram and what he's had to say, which is absolutely nothing. He just keeps saying, oh, yes, I've spoken to the family. I've got information that's not public knowledge. No, he hasn't. He hasn't released anything or said anything that we didn't know already or we could find out quickly. Said he was going to get answers within 3 days. He's just... he's like a Walter Mitty, isn't he? He's just all for self-aggrandizement, isn't it, with him? So I agree with Paul in a way. If I had to choose one, I'd rather have Isla, that's for sure.
She's the one with all the experience. She's the one with all. She's got awards, and she's got awards for a reason. There's a reason why this woman has awards. So yeah, I just need to go get some food. I don't care what it is. I'll eat anything right now. And then yeah, crack on. We'll do what we're here for. So find blooming Jay. Simple as that. So guys, I'm just.
So I worry about Paul. I think he's doing too much for a start. He's not had any rest. You can't just carry on like that. However experienced you are, over 8 days, you know, in those sort of conditions, and how frustrating it is. It must feel so frustrating. He probably felt he was going to find some sign of Jay. You know, but so, and you can tell he's getting like snarky, isn't he? He's getting angry. He's getting frustrated. You know, it's not good, basically, for him, I mean. So then he said, sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but then it was take my name off the list. He's had enough now. By later on in the day, he's literally had enough and he wants his name taken off the list. And the Guardia guy did make me laugh a little bit because I've dealt with these. You could see he's like looking at him, and Paul's sort of spitting his dummy out the pram a little bit, but he won't get anywhere with the Guardia doing that.
Ages now. This is a massive PR thing. I'm telling you now. I'm going to ask them in a second to take my name off the list. I'm just going to go down there and do my own thing. I'm going to do that now, I think.
Yeah, he's too impatient. He wants to do his own thing. He'd be better off doing his own thing as long as he makes sure everybody knows where he is.
Yeah, because there's people everywhere. Literally people everywhere, and nobody's doing anything. Hey.
So I thought it was a low. 1 minute saying it was a low turnout, then there's people everywhere. So what's the truth?
Hey guys, for the list, his thing, it says Paul Arnott.
Just. I'm sorry, you know, but this is Brits abroad that I cannot stand this attitude. He's gone up to a load of Guardia Civil officers and just talking to them in English, not even trying to do any Spanish. They're like stood there probably just looking at him thinking, what's he going on about? And it's just you know, what British people do then is they start speaking more loudly and shouting as if Spanish people will understand what they're shouting when they didn't understand what they were saying. That's a typical Brit abroad. I'm sorry, it is. If you imagine if a Spanish person was in Britain, in London, and they just went up shouting at someone in Spanish and assuming that they would understand Spanish, you know, it's so rude. Sorry, this is rude what he's doing here, I think.
Well, why not just cross it out? Take my name off. Yeah, because I'm going here now. It's too busy. I want to go search. Okay? Paul, yeah.
So they're just saying to him, no problem, Paul, no problem. They're being polite to him with their dobbing big guns in their holsters. But he's just gone up at, you know, he didn't even say it in a nice way. I don't like that attitude, Paul, sorry.
Yeah.
But Paul, and your surname?
Paul Arnott.
Paul Arnott.
I'm going to search over here because this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Thank you.
This is ridiculous. I'm going to search over. It's so rude. Sorry, Paul. So rude. I think that's coming from frustration, probably, but it's still rude.
Thank you, bro. So yeah, guys, I can't deal with this. This is absolutely mad. I've been up here for ages. Yeah, there's people everywhere. I'm just putting it how it is. Everyone's still in their cars. It's all a big thing. It's all chat. I'm putting it out there now. I'm sick of it. I'm so stressed out. I tell you what, I'm coming down here. I'm going to go get some food because my morning's already being wasted. And then I'm going to crack on a search for Jay in the area where I think he is. I can't deal with this, guys. I've been so quiet about this now. I've been so quiet about this.
Maybe, you know what, Paul, you're not the king of the world. You can't just go off and tell people what they should be doing. But anyway, never mind.
I'm not doing that anymore, people. I'm sick of this crap. So, guys, I've literally been waiting for absolutely ages now. This is a matter.
So, by then he was sick of this crap. So, off he's gone. I just think he's probably tired and frustrated. What was the next bit? What was this then?
Big announcements. Time is currently 20 to 10 as well, so it's pretty late. Ooh. I think they're standing here because they have a good background from here, guys. But this is what's happening at the moment. Everyone was told to meet at 9. You've got the big mountain rescue guy. He's kind of huddled at the front, and the bomberos around him. So this guy's been out pretty much every single day. The guy with the glasses, he's in charge of the whole mountain rescue team. Yeah, he's been up and down the ridges. He's done loads of different stuff. He was out with the dogs as well the other day. So it was him who was actually out with the dogs with the guys from Madrid, which is quite interesting. Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. They keep moving. I don't really get what's going on, to be honest.
You see, this is his language problem. He doesn't get what's going on because they keep moving, and maybe it is some sort of PR thing. I don't know. I'm not agreeing with him or disagreeing with him. What I'm just saying is he can't. It's not his show to run. It's like if you don't like it, then just go off and do your own thing. But it's not his. And his content, don't get me wrong, his content has been invaluable for us to see the terrain. It's great that he's out there looking for Jay. I don't care that he's a TikToker. I know he's doing his own content at the same time. Well, if it helps, then good. It's only like JLR, isn't it, over in America, going off and going boots on the ground or whatever and doing stuff, or anyone. Yeah, they're sort of YouTube. At the end of the day, he's a TikToker or a JLR is a YouTuber. That's what they do. It doesn't detract from what they're doing and make it any less useful. But he can't go talking to the Guardia. I'm surprised I didn't get annoyed with him. I'll tell you what, there's some Guardia Civil. You can see the other ones looking at him. There's some of them, they just wouldn't. They'd just like stick him in a police car and take him away or something. He just does it just cut that horrible sort of Brits abroad. Oh, I'm just going to speak in English. I don't care what country I'm in, and I'm just going to tell you what you should do. I don't like that attitude at all.
I kind of feel like just going off and starting searching. I feel like this is a massive waste of time. I feel like it's all about the press and it's not actually about searching right now, guys. I'm not too sure how many volunteers have even turned up. I think there's only about 5 people. They just handed around a clipboard.
You said there was
and we had to put our names down on it. And there was like 5 names on it. So there's like not really many people who have actually come, I believe. And they're all pointing. It's all for the cameras, guys. It's all for the cameras. I'm telling you now. I'm going to just start saying it how it is out here, I think. I think everything's just been for the cameras. I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't think anything's actually been... I'm not the only one saying this either. It's all for the cameras. It really is.
I don't believe that. I agree I don't agree with that at all. Maybe on that particular day, maybe it was, but somebody said in the chat who's lived in Spain for a long time. I think the police have done a lot to try and find this boy. I do. They've been out with helicopters. They've been out with drones. all the mountain rescue have been out, etc. I don't think you can say that they haven't tried to help. Maybe this particular day was no help, I don't know, but which is a disappointment. It is a disappointment, but I don't think it's right for him to say, if he's saying that the police haven't tried to help, they have.
That's why I've been talking about the social media presence and why I've had to be careful. But yeah, you can literally see what's going on. This is how it is every day. No searching, just people talking.
No.
Clumps of people talking, guys.
No, that's not true. People have been out. It's not true that it's like that every day. So sorry, Paul. I don't know why you're saying all that, because what you've done up to now has been so helpful and everything. I don't really understand why you're getting this attitude.
Really starting to piss me off, to be fair. And it really is starting to piss me off now, because this is what I've actually been seeing for the last 8 days. Clumps of people talking, a couple of people from Mountain Rescue going out, a couple of police going out, and literally everyone else just standing about chatting. I'm going to put it out there and be real. I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it.
So he's not coming over very well now, is he? He's coming over as a little bit sort of churlish and childish. And why is he saying that? If he thinks that, then he should, he can say it in a better way as well. I personally think it's because he's not getting the attention that he thinks he should get.
And you know what? I'm kind of stressed out now, guys. I feel like just kind of going off and searching a different area. I really do, because what a waste of time. What a waste of time, eh? What a waste of time, guys. It's ridiculous. This is supposed to be a search. And it's just full of press. It's literally just full of press. Not actual searchers. Everyone's just here for interviews and absolutely mad.
So I wonder what the family think of him saying all these things, because the family have had nothing but praise for the searchers and that. So it's all going, all these things, they all go batshit crazy in the end, don't they? Just because the family have been saying how great the Spanish police have been. Oh, dear me.
Mad. So now people are just like moving, more cameras, more photos, no talk about the actual search day. Where is the search? This is supposed to be for search, not for cameras. This isn't a massive PR stunt. Absolutely ridiculous. Every single day it's the same out here. Every single day. All for cameras.
Yeah, the other thing I would say is I don't know if he's ever out there about 5 o'clock in the evening, 6 o'clock, because of course that's when the Spanish tend to do most of whatever they're doing. So I know I don't think there's one video of his where he said, no, there's nobody here, but I think it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There won't be anyone there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon because it's too hot. They'll probably go out maybe about 5.
For sure. This whole volunteer thing should have happened ages ago, guys. Day one, we all know it. We all know it. Almost 10 o'clock now, guys. Almost 10 o'clock. We were supposed to meet at 9. What the hell's going on? Welcome to the reality of the situation in Tenerife.
So he's just changed completely. So in the beginning, when he was doing his videos, how brilliant all the police were and the mountain rescue, and they were fantastic and they were this, that. Now they're all shite, according to him. So it's gone full 360 degrees, according to Paul. Personally, I think Paul's tired and he's done too much himself, and he could do with a little break and maybe he'll feel differently.
All for cameras.
All for cameras.
Searching.
I mean, no offense, Paul, but you are a TikToker. So you saying that things are all for cameras is not really a good thing for you to say, because you don't do anything that's not all for cameras, do you?
Madness.
So he's really spitting his dummy out here, isn't he? Okay, so let's see where we're going now. Let's have a look at. Then his phone battery went, didn't it, or something? He had a problem with his phone battery. His time's been wasted. Wasting my time. Right, then he's moaning about the search again. Anyway, can't be bothered watching that. It's more of the same. What's this one?
Overall, fingers crossed, everyone's spread out. We're going to find Jay, but I'm going to separate myself from these guys and help out.
Oh, suddenly, is it better now? So he's searching solo now. Everyone
and do this bit thoroughly, very, very thoroughly. And we know that Jay was sliding down. Brad reckons he was going to return to the road. So we need to think, how was Jay potentially thinking about returning to the road while bearing in mind he was sliding down? So these are...
Right, he's back on it now. He's back on it. Back on it now. Back on the search.
The areas that I've been checking, guys. Just footprints, sliding marks. Obviously, I know what trainers Jay was last wearing. So I'm just going to do my best.
Yeah, you do your
And
best.
hopefully as a group, and we are going to find Jay. We're not giving up. But you can see how slidey this is, yeah? Super, super slidey, guys. The rock's so loose. On the other side of the mountains, it's not necessarily all like this. Like, obviously, it's a really dense area, but there's less screes. It's more covered in plant foliage. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow a little path down here, and I'm going to work out some sort of grid system and start marking it out, guys, because this is where I'm going to be. But just to show you literally all of this area, and then further over from the road all the way down. This is what I'm concentrating on, with the Airbnb being just over here. But yeah, just to show you guys.
Okay, so he seems to have got his mojo back a bit by then, but he's searching solo. Oh, he knows one Spanish word then, solo. Okay, what happened then? Oh, yeah, because then the next thing that happened was there was a fire on the mountain, wasn't there? Just put the sound.
Pedro has just spotted that there is a fire up here. There's a fire. Not sure how it started. It's probably a wildfire or something. But yeah, obviously all the guys from the other side, they've all come back to the top as well.
Yeah, so we can see here there was a fire, and it was all over the sort of local news. So on top of everything else, then there was a bloody fire. So we don't know. I don't think we know yet exactly what kind of fire it was.
They've all come back to the top, all the people who are searching. So the guy who's obviously renting me this room, these guys are on the case, but what a shock to come back to. I've been searching over here today, and everyone else has been searching on the other side. And yeah, this is just where it is. Absolute madness. Just up there, guys. It's a very dry area. So, but it's interesting to think what actually has started this. Crazy. Fire in the mountains. We're now going to get all the conspiracy theorists saying that this is a distraction from the search, guys. This is what we're going to get next on social media. Please don't start that stuff, guys. So, guys, I've just got back.
No, don't start any conspiracy theories, according to Paul, even though he's just been slagging everybody off. Okay, I think he was just tired, and that seems to have got his mojo back a bit. So now he's showing us the steep banks.
And there's actually scrape away the gravel like this, just so I can put my foot on it and use it as a ledge, so it builds a bit of friction, because the rocks are so loose, guys. Even these bits, I'm actually worried to hold on to these because it's so dry around here, everything just crumbles. I'm actually going to have to try traverse all my way over there. Trying to come up this way, guys, it's just way too risky. I'm literally stuck in one position right now. I might be able to get my foot on there. That is so dodgy. You literally have to rub away at the dirt, guys. Because if you attempted to step onto this, it is just way too loose. You're just going to go sliding all the way down to the bottom, guys. I mean, if you don't...
See, this is what I think has been brilliant that Paul has done, showing us these videos of the terrain and that, and close up and everything. It's great that what he's done. The dodgy landscape. Right, let's have a look at his next one. Well, because, oh, that's right. Then his battery started running out, didn't it? So let's have a
Be
look.
very active until tomorrow now. I'm having major problems with my battery on my phone. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I'm using a phone that's about 5 years old, and I've always refused to get a new one. However, nothing is charged, and it's taken a really long time to charge. As soon as I do anything on the phone, you try using the internet or anything, the battery just goes. So I'm more than happy to go out where I have no signal. That's not an issue, but I'm not prepared to go out where I have no battery. So what I'm thinking now is, guys, I'm going to have to go into town tomorrow and try find somewhere where that will sell me a phone. I've had a little look on the internet. I'm quite confused, guys. Amazon is no good because it's going to take a few days for it to arrive here. And the other thing, there's a shop called Macy's, but I believe I have to order it in, and I don't think it's going to be the next day. So if anyone's from Tenerife or the area, anyone near Mascring, you know where I can just pick up an iPhone and that isn't going to break and that it charges and is efficient, please let me know. Drop a comment below. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to have to try find a bus to get out of this area. That's what I'm going to spend tomorrow doing, and hopefully it's all sorted by the afternoon so I can continue searching. But please do not be worried, guys, if I'm not posting updates, because yeah, I need to get this sorted. But big love to everyone.
So then his phone battery started going, but I think he's got it sorted now. Then he came on saying he wanted, I don't know what this was about. Why he's saying this, people.
Every single one of you to share this. There have been loads of Just Giving pages, GoFundMe's, all set up in my name saying that I'm going to receive the money. Guys, this is not true. This is not true at all. Nobody has contacted me, nor would I ever ask this, nor would I ever accept this from anyone, guys. Please do not donate to these. Report the hell out of these GoFundMes. Every single one. Go on there. Every single person who's watching this, Google them, go find them, share the links below, guys, and report every single one. I'm gonna report them as well, but I'm gonna have to try I'm gonna have to try find a phone. I've just heard as well that nowhere is actually going to be open for phones until Monday. It's Sunday tomorrow, so everything's going to be shut. So this is not a great situation. But everybody, please share this. Report the hell out of every single one. There's loads apparently. There's about 4 or 5. They're going to keep getting made. Report them. Every way you possibly can, guys. So much love to everyone. But yeah, drop all the links below.
Yeah, you just should ban these GoFundMes. Have you ever known a GoFundMe that was straightforward and didn't cause a load of problems? So what are you saying now, that 4 GoFundMes have been set up in his name, but they're not legitimate? Just ban GoFundMes. That's what I think they should do.
Share them everywhere. Share this message. I'm going to post it on all my socials, and then yeah, the phone is literally, it's almost gone, guys. It's almost gone. Do our best, guys. So much love. So guys.
Okay, so his phone was going there, but I think he's, oh, don't know. Has he sorted his phone out? Let's have a look at his reels. What's this? Is that his latest one?
So it's pretty crazy right now, guys. I've just got on a bus.
Oh, he's on the bus.
I'm going to go get a new phone, and I'm the only person on the bus right now. It's pretty crazy. Literally the only person. I've never had this before. I'm literally riding.
You just don't understand. You're not in Manchester or Glasgow or London. You're in a mountain. You know, you're lucky that there wasn't even a bus.
Shotgun with the driver. But yeah, so I'm going to go get a new phone. There's a few other bits I want to get as well. And also I want to see if I can go into a pharmacy. I want to see if they can have a look at my foot, maybe. We'll see what happens. I don't know how it works out here, but we'll see. But look at the views, guys. What a crazy morning,
But when you look at that, Jay could be literally anywhere. So I don't know why anybody would think it'd be an easy thing to find him. But
so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the bus down here. From there, I'm going to get probably a taxi, I think. It's a Sunday today, and then there's 2 towns that I need to try get to, guys. We'll see what happens. But yeah, crazy day.
But again, that's where he's got his language problem. But I'm sure he could find someone to interpret for him down in Los Americanos. There'll be people who can speak Spanish and English. You know, there's his language problem again. Unless it's just for a video, isn't it? Because yeah, I'm sure he could contact the family. The family must be using someone to interpret. That guy that he's done a couple of videos with, the guy from the car rental place and what have you, that lives in Tenerife. he would interpret for him. So I think this is all about just making a video, to be honest.
I've also been speaking to a few people, and I think I'm possibly gonna move the search over to a different area, guys. Either tomorrow or later on this evening, but I'll talk more about it later. My phone is hardly charged overnight, guys. It's on like a tiny bit. So I don't know when you'll see this, but I'll speak to you guys. So it's pretty crazy right now, guys.
Okay, it's always pretty crazy, Paul, isn't it? According to you. So, right. Where am I going now? I think we'll have a look now at what Isla's got to say about it all. So she's back. Isla Traquair, sorry, I might have pronounced the surname wrong. She's back now in the UK. And she put an Instagram video out to have it because she's apparently being trolled and what have you. I hope this helps set out the facts of what we know, Jay's mindset that morning, and what the possibilities are. At the heart of this is a family desperate to find their boy. Please have compassion and restraint in comments. So let's have a look what Isla had to say.
I don't normally respond to trolls and comments online, and I personally don't really care about some of the things that have been said about me, but what I would like to do is clarify some facts, so I'm not having to respond to all the different comments. But first of all, just to address the nonsense and attention that's been brought on me, I'm a journalist. I have been a journalist since I was 16 years old. I'm vastly experienced. I've won awards for what I do. And what do journalists do? We go to the location of a story and report on them. And I find it rather hilarious that that has become the focus of a story. The reason for me actually going out there was I had been asked to speak about it on This Morning, and I did all the inquiries that I could from being based in London. And his family saw me, and his mother actually contacted the studio and said, I trust her, I like her, can I talk to her? That is why I ended up going out to Tenerife. It wasn't me jetting off or, you know, whatever nonsense. I had 2 hours sleep and then was straight boots on the ground, going to the location, interviewing the people that needed to be spoken to, and finding out the facts and establishing the location. I did a walkthrough of where he had gone. I didn't do anything dangerous. I was not personally going out to try and find him. I am not going to go into bush. My reports are demonstrating this is where he went missing. This is how dense the bush is, to show, you know, how high it is. I'm 5'2", and these cacti and shrubs are way taller than me. It's a really, really difficult terrain. But let's go to some of the facts and things that are being written about online. First of all, the Snapchat photo by Jay at 7:30 that morning. And I did question this. I'm like, what on earth is this sort of colourful fabric around him? Now, we know, and this is from his friend Brad, who had a phone call with him, and he actually showed him it was the blanket. They'd made up a bed for him and in this Airbnb that he was sleeping in. Also importantly, the 2 men that he went to go and stay with, they had met them 3 days before. They'd hung out with them. They'd made friends on holiday. It wasn't 2 random people he'd met that night. They'd established a friendship, and Brad said they seemed like really cool guys. Jay was just not ready for his night to end. We have all been there where other friends want to go to bed. Hey, let's have one more drink. That was, I believe, his intention for going up to the Airbnb. However, he did communicate to his friends via phone calls or text saying, oh, these guys have just gone to bed. Maybe I'll just come back. But trying to get back in the middle of the night would have been impossible. His mindset that morning was, you wake up, I just want to get back. That was what he wanted, to just get back to his hotel, to his friend. His tone when he was...
Can I just say, Arctic Nick, what the fuck has it got to do with you, how long anyone's been a member for or not? So can you please stop doing that? Otherwise, I'm just going to remove you from the comments. What are you even doing? What is the point and what you are putting on the chat at the moment? So first one's free, but any more stupid comments like that, adios, Arctic Nick. What are you even doing? Get a life.
Then out walking, he steps over, there's big stones, painted stones, that border the entire mountain road. It is an extremely dangerous mountain road just to even get up there. It's an hour, 45 minutes, an hour drive on very winding roads, like a James Bond film. It's really quite scary to go up there. But anyway, he is seen by his friend stepping over these white stones And that's when he starts going downhill. And that was new information to me, because we were looking logically, intuitively, that he might have tried to cut up the way, but he was actually going down. So he might have been further up and then trying to shortcut the next bit. You would not naturally think, I know, I'm going to go off the road. I'm going to go through this really dense cacti. There are little mountain paths. And if he would only really do that to try and cut a corner. So Paul Arnott, the experienced climber, yes, he's a TikToker, but he's actually out there.
So Isla was really nice about Paul. So obviously that's why Paul is really nice about Isla. I mean, you can see she's getting like a combination. Listen, anytime you go on YouTube or any sort of social media, you get a combination of comments. You get people thinking you're the best thing since sliced bread, and you get other people saying horrible things, especially when it's something as high profile as Jay's cases. You know, sort of normally on my channel, I don't get sort of strange people, but of course they all come out of the woodwork when you're talking about a high profile case like Jay Slater or with Nicola Bulley before, etc. It tends to be the British cases as well, which is a little bit worrying. So yeah, I mean, what do you think about this? I don't think, she says she's never put anything out like this before. I don't know why she felt she had to go on to justify anything. But having said that, I do think that the video is interesting for the things that she says. So
he's working harder than anyone out there. So he's actually changed his focus on where he's going to look based on the information that we got from his friend Brad. So that's really, really important. The phone call with Brad, they did establish exactly where he was, because I think he did a pin check or whatever, and he's like, oh, it's a 45-minute, 50-minute drive, or a whatever it was, 10 to 14-hour walk. And he said to him, mate, you need to get a taxi. And he's like, yeah, of course I do. He has a phone call after that with someone else. So the newspaper reports are saying, oh, he slipped while he was on the phone to his friend. Was this the moment? No, he was still okay. He'd cut himself. He had cut himself on cacti. He even questioned whether cacti was poisonous, because I think this cut or whatever was bothering him. So, we do know that he was off the road, and he was also off the road then when he spoke to Lucy, and that's when he, I think, begins to realise, hold on, I'm in trouble here. The battery's about to die. He was a bit disorientated. He'd probably had very little sleep.
So she was saying there that the cactus thing was annoying him. I think that's the first time I've heard that. I mean, I know that he did say, he did mention the cactus thing. But the impression I get, but again, because I've not seen any official timeline, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to try and find one next week. I'm going to go straight to, ask the Guardia themselves and just see if they'll either tell me or they won't. But because I hate all this conflicting times, conflicting things. What came first? So if we look at the timeline, I was trying to put it together earlier. So one source that I looked at said it was 7:30 that Snapchat of the cigarette was sent. Another one said it was 7:50. I mean, that must be the easiest thing to know exactly what time a Snapchat photo was sent. Do you know what I mean? How can that even be in dispute? So was it 7:30 or was it 7:50? Then, of course, we don't know the exact time, but everything then seems to be, after that, seems to be about 8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock. His phone call to Brad on one thing, it said it was around 8 o'clock, but how could it be? Because then on another one it said it was 8:30, but I thought he spoke to Lucy at 8 o'clock. Then the time that the woman saw him waiting for the bus was supposed to be 8 o'clock. It can't all be. Where's the sequence of events? We know that the Snapchat with the cigarette was earlier, if it was even him, because of course it didn't have his face on it, but that was earlier that morning. And then there's the phone call with Brad, the phone call with Lucy, the sighting of the Spanish lady seeing him. They're just like different times, whichever source you look at. And then apparently at 9 o'clock, he was reported as a missing person. Now, that's quite soon, isn't it? If you'd just spoken to someone at 8 o'clock, maybe because she was concerned about him because he sounded a bit hysterical, because apparently he did sound panicked when he spoke to Lucy, but we don't know for certain. But would you only wait less than an hour before you reported someone as missing? And then Isla here says that Brad's conversation with him was at 8:30 or 8:40. So do you know what? As far as timeline's concerned, as usual, it's all confused. Who knows the timeline? You know, really, I don't know.
You know, had been drinking, etc., and not thinking so clearly. But that moment when he realizes this isn't a fun adventure, this is a bit more serious, and I think that's where the tone changed with the call with Lucy, and his phone died shortly thereafter. Now, what the police are doing, they've actually asked to see my report with the interview with Brad, because that will help them. I don't know why they haven't done that, or someone hadn't done that and passed it on before. It's really important to find out exactly where we know for sure he was or could have been at that time based on call logs, etc. I actually took Brad's phone and was screenshotting his call log with Jay. Unfortunately, the final call with him was on Snapchat, so it doesn't show on the actual thing, but he remembers it was about 8:30, 8:40 was when he spoke to him last. And I believe Lucy spoke to him afterwards. So these are the things that we actually know. Is it possible he got back on the road and tried to thumb a lift? Yes. We cannot say whether or not that happened. Did he fall and hurt himself off the road? Highly possible. If he'd gone back on the road and been walking for any period of time, there would have been a cargo pass. We were up there from 7 in the morning. And even though it's extremely remote, there are vehicles going up there, and it gets busier as the morning goes on. The cafe where the lookout is, and they know he definitely got up to that point, or his phone pinged near there, it would have been shut at that time. It didn't open until 10. So trying to piece together all these bits of information. His family, I've spent quite a lot of time with them. His mum, who initially thought she might want to do an interview, she is so distraught right now. It's not advisable or ethical or moral for me to do that. I would never have pushed her to do it. And I said to her, you need to do an interview if you want to, and if you don't feel up to it, then don't. And she didn't want to, and I agree with her decision. And that's why Brad spoke on behalf of.
I definitely think the mum should not do an interview, because you know, conspiracy idiots will tear it apart. Whatever interview she does, however she acts, whatever she says, somebody will be nasty about it or horrible about it. So I definitely think a mum should not do an interview. But I do think there should be a proper press conference by the police to just clear up all this crap, really, that everybody's talking. You know, I do think we do need a proper police conference.
Someone, because I said it's important for people to understand beyond a photograph and stories from his past, which I'm not really going to delve into. Yes, he was one of a number that was charged in connection with an assault. The victim of the assault has gone online and said, please stop trolling them. Please help them find the guy. This family of, well, you know, their son's missing, have some sympathy. What I can tell you, though, is that Jay was, he was a bystander, if you like. He was not wielding a weapon. The victim was actually asked his opinion on Jay and said something like, yeah, he's sound. So there was not any bad blood between them, even though he was one of a number that was charged. His family do not shy away from that.
Yeah, so I think most of this wouldn't even be happening if he wouldn't have had this conviction for being in that gang. Remember that he wasn't the one wielding the machete. I'm not apologising for him. He shouldn't have got involved in that gang. But even the victim here now is telling people to leave the family alone. You know, and honestly, just even reading some of the comments now in the chat, what people say, I just think, oh my God, you literally, people just come on and say anything without any evidence whatsoever. You know, and you just think, for Christ's sake, just, you know, if that was, tell you what, if that was my son, I would be fuming. They'd pick up little things in his past or whatever and make a big deal of it and say a load of crap with no proof whatsoever, like people are doing. And just awful, I think, for the family. Sorry, I do. Until it's proven any different, I just think it's awful what this family's having to go through.
Of him being present and him being convicted of something but that is not, I believe, a true reflection of his personality and who he was. And again, I don't believe this is any relevance at all to him going missing. So I want to say to people, please have compassion. And before you write a comment that is nasty and cruel, put yourself in the shoes of his family. They are so distressed. I have experienced this with families throughout my career. When you don't know what has happened to your loved one, there is nothing worse. When you don't have answers and you're hanging on to any clue, and that's why false things being spread online are not helpful. It's diverting away from what are genuine, legitimate lines of inquiry. So my hope is, I might be returning to Tenerife, I don't know. There is no programme on this weekend, and I need to come home to sort out some personal things because I had to drop everything to go out there with no notice at all. But I hope that this search today is more focused. I have passed on everything I can that is useful via the family to the police, and I hope that my reports have helped people watching have a greater understanding of where he went missing. As I say, I was not going out there to find him and to attempt to do something dangerous and go into the bushes and the dense, dangerous undergrowth. I was going there to demonstrate and show where he was, where he went missing, and what the possibilities are of where he could be. And it really does break my heart. And I tried to be as honest and realistic with the family as I possibly could be about what they might be facing in the days and weeks and months to come. And as a human being, as a person, I pray that they find him so that the family have answers. And it's not looking good right now. And as I mentioned in the report yesterday, as unpalatable as it is to think that he's been picked up in a car by someone with ill intentions or whatever.
Yeah, that's like their best hope at the moment, that somebody did pick him up and maybe they're holding him somewhere. God, I hope Jay's found. So apparently the police have called off the search now. I'm going to look at that in a minute. You just can't bloody called off the search. But anyway, I'm going to look at that in a minute. But I just hope he's found one way or another soon, because this is just... I might have to step back from this because I can't stand all these ridiculous theories and what have you when there's no evidence. People just saying things. I just can't go with it. It's reminding me of Sebastian Rogers now. And, it's just not helpful, is it? Anyway, let's finish off hearing what Isla's got to say, and then we'll have a look why the police say they're calling off the search.
They would like any outcome where he's still alive, and we just don't know if that's we just don't know. We don't know what's happened to Jay. We need to find that out. So please, everyone, keep the focus on the investigation. I hope I've made some sense. I'm extremely tired. I have barely slept in days. And thank you to all those really lovely people who know who I am, who know my job, who know my integrity, for writing nice things. And I genuinely really don't care about the stupid comments, because they're written by people who have absolutely no clue about what they're talking about. And they can go and just maybe spend their time doing something more useful. Hello, I don't normally respond to trolls.
So there you go, Isla, who doesn't normally respond to trolls. I'm not really sure why she decided she had to respond. But anyway, she said that's what she said. Everybody will make their own mind up about what... I mean, it's pointless responding to trolls, really, because you never convince a troll. Trolls say what they want to say. And I learned during Brexit, the sort of arguments that I used to have with people who were pro-Brexit before Brexit. Like when you try and ask people, well, why do you think Brexit will be a good thing? And you just sort of realise in the end you're never going to convince somebody of anything. You can't argue with stupid, you just can't. So you're just best to step back from it. Of course, this is what we get now with social media. I mean, there would have been times, you know, when I was younger, then really you just associated people that had more or less the same thoughts as you about things, didn't they? So you wouldn't really normally get into polarizing arguments with people. Or, of course, we did used to debate a lot more, and debate was a healthy thing, whereas now it's just like, well, either agree with me or you're stupid. You know, people just say outrageous things, don't back them up with evidence, but then not only that, call you stupid when you say to them, well, where's your evidence for that? You know, it's like, I don't need any evidence, you know, so you just can't argue with stupid. So I'm surprised that Isla has put out that statement, because she said she doesn't normally respond to trolls. So why is she responding to trolls now? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let's have a look at Sky News and the fact that now the police have called off the search. Just when you think the shit can't get any more ridiculous, it gets more ridiculous. Oh my God. I hope England win later, because I'm going to need something to cheer me up here. Oh yeah, because also on the news, you know, we've had the woman that's been charged, the prison officer who's having sex with a bloody prison inmate. Yeah, you couldn't make it up in Britain, could you? You've got Nigel Farage. This is the headlines. For Britain, this is Britain. Good God, whatever. I tell you what, once I left Britain, it all went downhill. Okay, let's see why Jay Slater's search has been called off. So, Tenerife authorities had called for volunteers to join a new search for Mr. Slater in the Masca area on Saturday, and have now confirmed it has ended. So, but they are keeping the investigation open. So, the search for Jay Slater in an area of Tenerife has been called off, police said, nearly 2 weeks after his disappearance. The British teenager has been missing since 17th of June, when he vanished the morning after a rave. Now, I mean, that's going to hurt the family, isn't it, if knowing that the search has been called off. So, police are keeping the investigation open and could yet open up searches in the south of the island, but have not provided an update. A handful of volunteers turned up to help rescue teams on Saturday, forming a total group of 30 or 40 people scouring the huge area of rugged and hilly terrain. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of looking at this bloody terrain now. I feel like I know it, like I've walked it. So then it just goes on to talk about the circumstances. So that, don't forget, anyone talk about these two men, the Spanish police have said these men are not relevant to the case. They've gone back to Luton, where they come from. You know, I don't know if Mark Williams Twonk is going to go over there and interview them. He says they're crucial to the case. Well, not as far as the police think. So that's it, basically, isn't it? It's... Oh, dear. And then this picture, I don't think this is Jay at all. I mean, he's not my son, but he doesn't look like what I've seen of him. Some social media sleuths have even travelled to Tenerife to try and find him. Yeah, like Mark Williams Twonk. God, I'm starting to get angry with it all now. Right, I want to just show you some of the Spanish news. Now, I do think that Jay on this video does look quite scary. You know, and all the other pictures where he's smiling and everything, looks like a really nice lad, but it looks like a bit of a villain there. But maybe it's, you know, when he was younger and he was in gangs when he was younger. So, of course, it's in Spanish. So, Jay Slater. So they're calling it a massive search on here. Well, it obviously wasn't a massive search, was it? You know, no, I'm just not making any comment. Oh, this will be what Paul's talking about. Look, this is like, he's like from the fire brigade, he's from the emergency department or whatever, unless someone's just borrowed him that high-vis jacket. They will have been talking for hours before they set off on the search. That's what Spanish people do. I can see that it would irritate him, because it is irritating. They like to talk, but then they do the action as well, but it just takes them a while to get around to it. The best thing, really, you know, I think if Jay gets found in that park, in that area, he'll get found by a hiker. Well, the thing is, Michelle, I have no evidence to say he's still in a gang. Nobody has proven to me that Jay is in a gang now. How do you know he is? That is my point. He may be in a gang. I'm not saying he's not in a gang. I just don't know. Where's the evidence? That's all. That's all I'm saying. People don't seem to understand. Somebody shows me evidence he's in a gang now. Don't forget what his employer said about him. He's an apprentice bricklayer, and his employer said he's nothing like what people are saying he is. So it's just a question of what do you believe. And at the moment, I have no proof that he's in a gang now. So when I've got the proof, I'll believe it. These are just, oh God, I'm sick. I don't know about you, but are you sick of looking at this terrain? These videos, it's all the same thing over and over again. Let's have a look at this one.
¿Qué pasó con Jay Slater? En horas recientes, este nombre se ha vuelto tendencia en redes sociales, luego de que el joven británico de 19 años fuera reportado como desaparecido el 16 de junio tras asistir a un rave en la isla de Tenerife con sus amigos. Según los reportes, Slater llamó a una amiga suya para decirle que se había perdido en una zona montañosa en Masca, en la isla española.
And also, even if he is in a gang, it doesn't mean to say I don't want him to be found. You know, it's like he's still a 19-year-old lad who's gone missing, and he could be my son, he could be my nephew, could be my, you know, I think it's just human compassion, just general human compassion. You want him to be found. You can see that his family are upset. They look like the young Peaky Blinders there.
Y que le quedaba solo 1% de batería, tras lo cual todos sus allegados perdieron contacto. Por otro lado, circula la teoría de que en realidad el joven salió de fiesta con dos hombres que conoció ahí y procedió a quedarse en su Airbnb. Lo que desconcierta a las autoridades es que se cree que Slater fue visto saliendo de una discoteca en Playa de las Américas. Desde el reporte de su desaparición se ha movilizado un grupo de búsqueda y rescate, pero sigue sin hallarse rastro alguno del adolescente. Incluso los padres del joven británico viajaron a Tenerife para seguir de cerca la búsqueda, mientras que el resto del mundo se pregunta.
Yeah, well, of course, that was all in Spanish, and I didn't interpret it. Sorry, I'm just sort of losing the will to live with it all. Okay, what we're going to look at now. Oh, it's like, it's just all crazy, isn't it? I don't know, crazy. I've got lots of things that are still up there, but they're all more or less saying the same thing. Oh, let's have a look what. So Mark Williams Thomas, let's have a look at his Instagram posts. So Jay Slater update. So don't forget, he was supposed to solve this within 3 days, or get answers, he said, within 3 days. Maybe he's working behind the scenes, and maybe he'll suddenly come up with some great big solve the case thing. Let's see. Well, I hope he does. I hope he does. If he does manage to do that, good. So anyway, he said, Jay Slater update, a police coordinated, it doesn't come out with anything that people don't know already. A police coordinated large-scale search of Rural de Tenno National Park with volunteers will start at 9 a.m. I provided the family last night with a detailed account of our investigation, which includes information not in the public domain and our current evidence-based working theory. But of course, he's not saying what the theory is. Anyway, yeah, what's your theory? Somebody asked. Well, he won't say that because he hasn't got a theory, has he? Doesn't know any more than anybody else knows. Then the next day said 6 volunteers have attended to help in the police search for Jay Slater. Yeah. Everyone seems to think that the GoFundMe should be used to help bring UK people out to help search. I don't know. Maybe. What do you all think? What was the other? I know I had some other things. Oh, yeah, now, maybe you know this or maybe you don't know this, but apparently, Oswald Twistle, I always thought Oswald Twistle, from what I know of it, I mean, I've heard of it, obviously, because I grew up in Manchester, which isn't that far away from its village in Lancashire. I always thought it was like a nice little village. But not only he was involved in the attack on that young lad, then it turns out he was ambushed by a gang and beaten up when he was just 12 years old. And he was left shaken up and with a massive lump on his head after being ambushed by 3 men. So what I would say is I won't bother going to live in Oswald Twistle because it doesn't sound like a very safe place to live for young people. So this is the hunt for Jay, which I think we've had enough of that. But so apparently he and a friend were out together in the town of Oswald Twistle in November 2017, and they were attacked by 3 Asian men. The trio jumped out of a car and beat the youngsters up before a passerby intervened. And Jay's mum, Debbie Duncan, said her son was absolutely terrified after the assault. She told Lancs Live he was really shook up and had a massive lump on his head. He said they were kicking him when he was on the ground. So Jay managed to hide under a car until his attackers left, prompting Debbie to initially fear he had been taken. She added, they rang me to say Jay had been attacked and they think they've taken him in a car. I was hysterical on the end of the phone. I'll tell you what, this mother's been through some crap with this boy. So he was attacked when he was 12. He attacked with a gang of kids, somebody else at 16. And now he's gone missing in Tenerife. Bloody hell. She's had some sleepless nights over this boy, that's for sure. Good God. So let's just turn some... just put some of these down, these things. Don't think I've got anything. Oh, well, let's just have a look at this video. There's a video off. Did I just put a video off GB News? I know you'll love GB News. I do like this guy, actually. Yeah, I wonder why I left.
Helicopter, drones and some dogs as well. But the key thing is they'd asked for volunteers the day before.
Jay Slater has hit out at online trolls during the latest search efforts in Tenerife. He's urged online sleuths to come and see for themselves just how difficult the search is.
Despite a massive operation involving dogs, drones, helicopters, mountain rescue teams, there still has been no trace of the 19-year-old for almost a fortnight.
Let's head to Tenerife and senior global reporter for Mail Online, Nick Pisa. What's the latest, Nick?
Yeah, well, as you said in your introduction there was a search yesterday of the Masca Valley area with helicopter, drones and some dogs as well. But the key thing is they'd asked for volunteers the day before and only 6 people turned up. That was the TikTok mountaineer Paul Arnett, a German couple, and 4 Spaniards. And there was a little bit of frustration from Paul, really, because it took so long to get everything going and for people to be registered. So he actually decided to go off on his own because he was so angry with what happened. And they spent the day up there, and the foot search ended at about 4 o'clock. A helicopter passed.
You know, they keep showing that picture in war. There's no proof that that is Jay in that picture. So I don't know why they keep showing that picture of Jay walking past.
Over several times in the afternoon as well. But the police announced that there was no trace of Paul, and we wait to see, no trace of Jay, and we wait to see what happens today if the search continues. They've said it will do, but we're waiting to get an update later on this morning. I can tell you that Jay's father, Warren, also arrived with his brother, Zach, and we had a brief conversation. They were both very emotional, as you can imagine, and they weren't happy, as you said in the introduction, with the trawlers, because he's absolutely right. That terrain up there is absolutely treacherous. There's steep cliffs, there's ravines, deep gullies. You need proper equipment, and you need to know what you're doing. You know, you can't just go up there in your Sunday hiking gear. It's technical, and it needs people with experience to go up there. But he was disappointed that only 6 volunteers had turned up.
I know that you've been looking at all the other, of course, all the other.
Yeah, I just want to say now, what I want to say to, in a very nice, polite way. Now, when you're reading things in the chat, people put things in the chat sometimes they're not all true. Don't take what, I'm not mentioning any names, but don't take what everyone says in chat as true, please. You've got to, if there's no evidence to back up what somebody's saying, it may not be true. You know, it's a theory, like everybody has their theories. And sometimes people even present things as if they are true, but they're not necessarily true. And one thing I do, there are no wolves up there. So it just made me sort of smile then when Arctic said that about wolves, because that's like the woman on... The woman on the Facebook page saying, have they checked the eagle's nest unless he's been taken up into by an eagle? Now, I suppose that's, I'm just speechless about that. But this is just, let's just keep our feet on the ground until we know any different. Let's just, I think there's a bit of hysteria developing about this case. And I'm just trying to keep everyone's feet on the ground, that's all. Now, things may come out in the future that I didn't know, but until I have any proof of anything, I will not believe it just because people say it in the chat.
Ideas about why Jay would have gone missing in that area. Are you satisfied yourself that not simple searching, but all of this amazing searching that's going on is going to yield anything? Or do you think the whole idea of what happened to Jay may be somewhere else, something else?
Well, they're certainly doing a good job up there. They've been up there for nearly 2 weeks in pretty difficult conditions, doing their best they can. It is unusual, though, as you say. I mean, they've been up there 2 weeks, still no trace. The police and the mountain rescue teams are really focusing on that area by the massacre porch, because they say that's where his mobile phone last pinged, and that's where they think he is. The working theory that they are looking at is that perhaps he got a little bit disorientated as he walked up the hill, and then he saw the sea, and he decided to head towards the sea because he knew if he could get to the sea, to the coastline, he could turn left and reach his accommodation at Los Cristianos. But obviously the distances are vast. We're talking about 19 miles.
So despite everything, that is still my working hypothesis. Everyone can put the chat is free for everybody to say whatever they want to say, and for you to make your mind up about what you believe is true or whatever. My working hypothesis is still the same. I feel like sound like Rebecca now from the Nicola Bully case. My working hypothesis has not changed. Just what I do agree with this guy. I think that Jay just set off thinking he could take a shortcut, and he's got lost, and he will be found there somewhere. But the problem is at some time, in my opinion, until I hear any different. But I don't know when he's going to be found, and I just think he'll be found by accident by a walker. I think it's probably been a tragic accident, and that's my opinion at the moment. I know there's lots of other theories out there, and I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time.
And crossing that tricky terrain, you don't hold up much hope, really, which is terrible and awful for the family.
Yeah, it certainly is, and no answers on the horizon. Nick, for now, thanks very much indeed. It's thoroughly depressing.
It is, isn't it?
And the reality is, of course, they're not going to keep searching for much longer.
No, but when
it is thoroughly depressing, and it's true what he's saying, because, you know, in Greece, they were saying they only search for people for 4 days because there's other people probably to search for, other things to do. They've got limited resources. They've been searching for Jay on and off for 2 weeks. I'm sure they won't have given up searching completely, but believe me, I'm going to try and find out about that from them, though, from the police, not from, you know, Auntie Edna up the road or whatever. And but it is depressing. It is completely depressing, isn't it? And all the theories in that, the conspiracy theories, make it worse, to be honest. More depressing. So, you know, I feel like I'm at that point where what's the point if I'm only coming on repeating things and nothing new, nothing provable and new is being said. It is a limit to what you can say, really, which is a shame, because I want to keep this case alive.
When do they decide to call it off?
Exactly. When do they decide to call it off? You know, how do they make that decision? You know, you've got parents there that want their child found. You know, very difficult. Anyway, I'm putting some windows on. I've got one more thing that I want to show you, I think. Ah, dear me. Sorry, I'm just laughing at some of the comments. I don't know where that video is. Arctic Nick, can you not send me a link? Can't you put a link in the chat to that? Because I don't know about that, the beach CCTV. I will Google it in a minute. I just want to show you this. So when you go on Google Maps, Google Earth, of course, there's loads of photos of this terrain. Oh, this lad just sat there relaxing with his stick, but you can see that terrain. It's awful, isn't it? Let me see if anybody's got the link to this Lucy whatever video. I will show it. I'll show it, anything that people think will be interesting to people, of course. But I don't know. I haven't got a link to that. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? I don't know where to find that, Nick, unless you want to send me a link. You know, don't forget there's loads of false things going out there, like loads of weird and wonderful things going out. And Annie, you're saying it's not an accident, but you can't prove to me that it's not been an accident. So until that I get proven that, I won't believe it, I'm afraid. Right, let's see if I can get this back on there. Yeah, so I was trying to go, you know, where you put the little man where you can walk, but anyway, we have seen the actual place itself, haven't we? We've seen it. Paul Arner, his videos have been brilliant for that, for seeing the terrain. I don't think anyone's done a better job than him for showing us the actual terrain that Jay has gone missing in. And I think he's there somewhere and he will get found, but who knows when? That's the problem. Took 23 days to find Nicola Bulley. That actor Julian Sands in Arizona, it took 3 months to find him. Took a week to find Michael Mosley, and he was literally at the side of the cafeteria, and everyone was coming out with conspiracy theories about that as well, including some of the people on this chat that were saying, oh, it was this, that and the other, and it wasn't. He just succumbed to the heat next to cafeteria, but he still wasn't found for a week or whatever. So, you know, we've got to look at things that have happened before as well. Up in Snowdonia, up in Glencoe, mountaineers go missing, they're not found for weeks. You know, so it happens. Well, give me a link then. Somebody's saying, Kelly, it's another channel. Oh, just gone viral. Oh, no. Sorry. No. Look. Sorry. I cannot deal with YouTube channels who just put any old crap on without any evidence. So I won't be going on that. No, I won't be looking at that. Okay. Oh, there was one thing I was thinking of looking at. But I've forgotten what it is. There's been that many things. What was the other thing I was thinking of? I was going to show everyone. Anyway, I'll remember it for the next one. I'm sure there'll be another video about Jay. Another update sooner or later. Do you know what? Whenever anything, there'll always be conspiracy theories. Always. There always has been since time immemorial, hasn't there? You know, it's just that now they go crazy because of social media. And some conspiracy theories I believe in. I don't believe that we ever went to the moon. Don't believe that for a minute. But then my son laughs at me and says, you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist. But, you know, basically I do what I would recommend to you to do. You watch everything you can on a certain subject. If it's a conspiracy theory, you watch all the videos. I mean, you want to watch any other YouTube video, that's great. It's just I can't watch them. You know, there's some that I just can't bear to watch. But I would advise you to watch whatever YouTube channel you want, whatever theory you want, and then you come to your own opinion, don't you? That's what we can do now. That's what we're free to do in this world of social media that we live in. You know, that's what we can do. That's the freedom we have now. So whereas years ago there was still conspiracy theories, there's been conspiracy theories always, but now they can spread so much quicker, can't they? And they can get even more outlandish and more people can get involved in them. And here on like chats and things, we can get other people's opinions, other people's theories, and we can consider them, and then ultimately we just decide what we think. And that's where I am with Jay at the moment. I still think it was an accident. Nobody's shown me any proof of anything that would convince me otherwise yet, but you never know. Okay, so I've got to go now because I've got to go and have lunch. I'm going to have lunch. Then I'm going to watch the football. I'm going to see if England hopefully will win. Hopefully. Anyway, if they don't, it's not the end of the world, is it? I mean, I'm not sat up on a mountain hoping for my son to be found. And now just been told that the police are calling off the search. So, you know, there's always people having a worse day than you, aren't there? But so, yeah, if there is any development, I will be back later, of course, at any point. But I think tomorrow I'm going to start doing some other videos again about the other cases that we've been looking at. And I will come back to Jay's case whenever there's any information, like proper information, not just, you know, such and such says this, that, or the other. You know, any proper information I will. And I am going to try. I'm going to try a little different tack with the Spanish police over there. See if I can get any information. Oh, we posted the link. I can't see the link, MZ. Anyway, I'll look at it next time. We'll look at it next time. Oh, the Skyline web. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I had a lovely pamper day. Well, it wasn't yesterday. It was Friday. I had a pamper day. Yesterday I went for lunch. I'm feeling very lucky at the moment. So Yeah, every day is important, isn't it? Enjoy your day, do what you can. Remember, you just never know when life is going to change. Life can change just like that, so you have to make the most of every minute, don't you? So take care. Take care. Don't go and live in Oswald Twistle. One thing I would definitely say, if there's one place I definitely know now I wouldn't want to live, is Oswald Twistle. It doesn't sound like a very safe place, does it? And I certainly wouldn't go up on that mountain range either. I've learnt that much. So look after you. You are the most important person. You can't look after anybody else unless you look after yourself. And I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God always go with you. And I'm going to put my little video on. I haven't even done my bloody Spanish classes and stuff videos. Tomorrow I'm going to try and get a bit back to normal. But, just one thing I want to say. Put my banner up. So prayers for Jay. Still haven't got a lighter, so I can't actually light a candle. But prayers for Jay and his family. Because, personally, I think they're going through hell. Where am I? Adios.